beautiful people, welcome back to the Shami's Kitchen, your favorite kitchen where we make amazing meals, bake bespoke cakes, and definitely we have fun around food. So yes guys, today it is Food Stories Friday, and as I told you, I have plenty of those. For those who are new here, Food Stories Friday is about unforgettable moments that revolve around food. So as I always say, if you love a good laugh, a little bit of drama, and stories that leaves you saying, wait, what? Then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that every time I post these amazing stories and some of other videos on the other days, you will be the first person to be notified. So today, let's dive into our today's story. Today's food story is a little bit emotional for me, but it's something that happened way back when I was young, but it's something that has stuck with me and has affected some parts of my life that I felt like I wanted to share this food story with you. It's kind of also like it's kind of funny and crazy at the same time, so definitely you will enjoy this. So back when I was young, I grew up with my grandma. I was raised by my grandma because my mom died early, although even before she passed, I was still being raised by my grandma since from birth. And yeah, so my grandma was a little bit well off back then, so we didn't lack anything. She provided for us, had a good job, provided for us very nicely. We didn't lack anything at that particular time. Compared to now, I feel like we were not well off. But back then, you know, as a child, as long as you have food, you have a nice place, a nice home, a cozy home, a warm home to stay in, you feel like you have everything. And then back then you had a TV, those great wall TVs. You felt like you're the G's of the estate. So yeah, we didn't lack anything, but unfortunately, when I was around 10 or 11, my grandma passed. So that meant the only breadwinner that we had passed. Me and my aunts, who were very young, had to figure life out. So that's when everything started. Life started spiraling down, and that's when we knew what lack was. We knew what to lack food was. We knew how to struggle when it came to food and some other stuff, basic stuff. And one time we had this neighbor. So this neighbor, you know how we lived. I grew up in Nakuru. So Nakuru people, hi. Back then it was this community. We lived as a community. Like, people knew your problems. People got involved in your problems. Not like now when how we're living in Nairobi, you don't even know your next door neighbor. Like, you've never even seen, you've been living in one place and you don't even know your next door neighbor. So we had these very amazing neighbors who they had children like who are my age. And they were, because we lived in our own compound, like everybody had their own compound, and it was we had very big space. So they were rearing chicken, they were rearing even a cow. We used to buy milk from them. So this one time we used, like, I won't even lie to you, we went hungry some days. Like, it was very difficult. Times were tough because remember, it's my aunt who, like, the sister to my mom, who has been left to raise us, and she's barely a child. Like, she's just around 22, I think 23, and she also had a child. So it was very difficult, you know. She's never like fed for anybody her entire life, and now she's been told to figure things out. She didn't have a job, so we just surviving, let's just say that. So the days we went without food, and the neighbors knew that. Neighbors could see how our lives had changed since our grandma left, and these neighbors, well, it's like they were feeling for us. So these neighbors, I told you, was rearing chicken. So he used to buy these big sacks of omena. What is omena in English? Omena is those small fish. I don't know how they are called. No, they are called, I don't know. I'll write here down. I'll research and write down here. So they used to buy those omenas for chicken. You know, it's not the normal omena that people eat. It's for chicken. It's those leftovers, like mabaki omena, those with stones, with like all taka. They had all this shit inside. So for chicken, you know, the chicken will just pick whatever they have to eat. So it wasn't good for human consumption. Let me just say that. So this one time they told us to come for the food. I guess they were also eating it because it's not like they were well off also. So I feel like maybe they were eating it. I don't know. So these babas like calls us and tells us, you know what, we have this omena. If you don't mind, we can give you, and then maybe it was kuma, like it will serve you for some time before you figure things out. Because we used to go take milk from them for free, like not for free, kukopa. Like we will just go and take, borrow. Like we would borrow salt, we will borrow this and that and that. So they knew we were like with nothing. And before you borrow, of course you have to tell them your entire story. Oh, we slept hungry yesterday, we don't even have something to eat, all that, you know. So it was coming from a nice place. They were just helping us, you know. So they gave us a half a sack, you know. Do you know half a sack? What half a sack? Like that thing was big. Half a sack of omena, my guys. Half a sack of omena. And back then, let's not lie to each other, people didn't even know how to make omena. It's not like now people know how to, you know, you add this and the omena, that bad smell goes, and you, because I'm a lover of omena now. So yeah, he gave us that half a sack of omena, and we went home with it. We were excited. At least we knew, you know how we used to go to the portion meal, we would get maize from people, and then you get you siaga, how is it called? Yeah, you siaga. You siaga that maize with the maize, and then you get your flour. So we used to have flour, but you know you can't take ugali peke yake. So we used to have flour. So now that we have this nini, and then at our backyard, like where we behind the house, we used to have those vitungu, like these spring onions, yes, which were growing. We used to throw them things there, and then things were just growing. Not that we were even planting. We used to throw things there, and things were just growing. So we had these spring onions that used to grow. So we knew with this, a lot of spring onions and these omenas, we have a meal. You know, beggars are not choosers. So we come home with it. My goodness, my aunt used to cook that omena daily. Lunch, supper, lunch, supper, because that was the only thing that we had. So she didn't have a choice. I'm telling you, we ate omena without enough oil, omena without enough, not without, but sometimes, most times actually, they didn't have tomatoes. There was nothing added to spice up that omena. And remember, it's the bad omena. It's not that good. Yes, we used to sieve it and, you know, get the stones and everything out. But you know, it's the bad omena, those that have been, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You just go and find out how omena for chicken looks like, and then tell me. So we used to take that omena, like, I'm telling you, that half a sack, we ate. I think we ate for 3 good months consecutively. And I'm not even lying, I'm not even exaggerating. So we ate that omena, we ate that omena to a point that it was up to here. Even sometimes you would skip a meal. You pretend that your stomach is aching, you'd rather sleep hungry. Because now, and then tomorrow you wake up to the same omena. My goodness. Yes, it sucks, we didn't die from hunger, but that omena made me hate omena, and so that I will never, when I get married, I'm in a place where I can afford a meal, I buy my own meal, I will never eat omena my entire life. So that's how it was. I grew up, from that point I think, I never ate omena until I grew up. I came to Nairobi, you know, I started my own life and stuff like that, and I was not eating omena. Even when I hear the neighbors were cooking omena, or I go to a friend's place and they were cooking omena, they tell me, oh, you take this omena, it's very, I'm not taking that shit, you know. So I told myself, no, I'm not taking this thing. So I didn't eat omena until I think I was around 24. Yeah. So this one time I was living in Umoja, and I had these neighbors. I'm always an introvert. I'm this person who loves movies and my own space. Like, I would stay in the house even for 3-4 days. I used to do advertisement jobs. You know, these agency jobs where you call when there are gigs only. So when I go for a gig, maybe for a week or a month, and then I get paid, and then I would wait for the agency to call me again after some time. You would say even for 2 months. So for these 2 months, you're surviving on the salary that got paid. I used to get some good money because I used to get ushering jobs. for very big gigs in Nairobi, around Nairobi. So I used to save to pay rent, to do this, and at that time I used to have a housemate who I was living with. So we were sharing, we split, and it was a bed sitter, so we were splitting rent. So it wasn't, life was good, let me say. I wasn't struggling. So all I was saving for, like, I would, for a whole week I would stay inside, go out on Saturdays, do my shopping, bring in the house, like put movies. You know, we used to have DVDs back then. It wasn't flash. No, yeah, sometimes, yeah, I used to have flash disc and all that. But the main thing was you buying movies from disc, the MP3 disc or whatever. CDs. So I used to do that. So I would stay in the house. I didn't know people, most people, but I knew I had a neighbor there who was a young guy who used to have parties most of the days. So they used to come and, you know, hi on the stairs and all that, but I wasn't interacting with them. So this one time they came, I don't know, they were coming to borrow a movie from me or something. They knocked on my door around 7, and hi, why do you always stay alone? I have company, my friends and brothers are here, why don't you come in and let's chill with us for some time? And I was like, nah, you know, no, I don't want. And they kind of, there was another, now the sister came and convinced me, because they were high, came and convinced me. And that day I think I was feeling like I want to like interact with people. So I went to their place, and guess what? They were cooking omena. They were from the lakeside. Yes, this guy was from the lakeside, and it was the guy, now the owner of the house, was my neighbor, who was cooking that omena. And this very amazing ugali, like very good ugali. So they told me, eat omena. I don't eat omena. And they were like, I don't know if you have friends like from the lakeside, they always insist, you eat omena. You know, our omena is not like yours, like, because I'm a Kikuyu. So they always say, yours is not like ours. You guys don't know how to cook omena. Maybe that's why you don't love omena. You taste ours and you'll never say that you don't. And I'm saying, when he was cooking, he's putting some mala. He's putting this sour milk, buttermilk. Some things. Yes, it's smelling nicely, but me, remember I have some trauma from back then. So I'm like, nah, no. So they insisted, just taste even a spoon with this small ugali, and then trust you me, you love my omena. And I did. And that's when my life changed, guys. Yes, that's when my life changed. My perspective about omena changed from that day. That's when I started eating omena again. I asked him, how do you cook this omena? He explained, you wash with hot water, and that's how I cook. I even have an omena video on this channel. You should go check that out. Like, I love omena to this day. I'm a fun lover of omena. Like, I love omena now. But you know, that story traumatized for years. I missed out on omena because of that story. So let me note down on the comment section if you love omenas, and if you don't, any of your food stories that you'd love to share with me, let me note down on the comments section. And let's keep it tuned, guys, for every Food Friday stories. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video, and also don't forget to hit that notification button, bell, so that every time I post these Food Friday stories or any other videos on my channel, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for watching, and bye bye for now.